Hello everyone and welcome back. For those of you that watch the videos on the Joe and Zach Survival channel, you know that the hobby farm has been doing real good, and this year we decided to do pigs. Got 4 of them. Just butchered the first one, and I saved the pork belly, and I'm going to make bacon out of that. Well, I don't want to start with that pork belly. I have one that's store-bought that I've had for a while, so what I'm going to do in this video is we're going to kind of go through it. I mean, making bacon is super easy to do. It's just that when you look online, there is a million different recipes, and when you look on the package that you buy in the store at the ingredients, it's pretty much sugar, salt, nitrates. That's about it. And you can find them where they have garlic and chili powder and all kinds of different stuff. So I'm just going to do a simple recipe that I kind of like. At least I like what it sounds like. And I'm not sure about every one of them that add pepper in it. And I couldn't see any of them that I have in the freezer from the store that had any pepper. So I'm still going to put some in there, and we're going to give this a try. And I just wanted to take you guys along. Okay, so our cure for this is going to be really simple. We're going to do a half of a cup of kosher salt. I'm going to do 1 cup of brown sugar. Now there was recipes that called for maple sugar, which I made my own maple sugar, and I would really have liked to use that, but I'm thinking back when I get the maple bacon in the store, it's like you eat that bacon and that's all you taste is the maple for hours. So I'm just going to try just keeping this really simple. The recipe called for 2 teaspoons of minced thyme. I don't have any fresh thyme to mince, so I'm just going to use about 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground thyme. It calls for 1 bay leaf. I don't know why. I don't. And it calls for 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground black peppercorns. So I'm not going to put that much on there. I don't want hot bacon at all or too spicy or anything like that. So alright, so that's basically it for what we're going to be putting on there to cure it. Now, I'm not using any nitrates, anything like that in here, and to me that seems kind of stupid. I can see it if it's store-bought, where it's sitting on the shelf and, you know, it's not frozen or anything, but I'm going to end up doing this in the refrigerator for 7 days, and then we're going to take it out and we're going to cold smoke it. And then after it's cold smoked, I'm going to put it in the oven and get it to an internal temperature of at least, well, 140 to 160, so I'll probably go 150. And then I'm just going to put it in the freezer. So I really don't have to worry about all the dangerous nitrates we need to keep this stuff safe. It's going to be in the freezer. Okay, so here we have our pork belly. This is a store-bought pork belly, and to be honest, this is about twice as thick as the ones that I got off of the one pig that we just butchered. Pigs are bred for different reasons. I imagine mine were more for meat. I'm not really sure, but that worries me a little bit, because this is going to go in there. Are you going to have salty bacon, not salty bacon? But I got to start somewhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're just going to coat this on all sides and just rub it in really good, and make sure we get these edges also. Alright, so now it's all covered, and now what I'm going to do is just let it sit here for about 5 minutes, because what's going to happen is that salt and everything is going to start pulling the moisture out. I'm just going to let it sit about 5 minutes before I put it into a Ziploc bag, because I didn't see this in any video or anything, but it seems to me it'll start sucking out the juice a little bit, and this will stick a little bit better before I transfer it into the bag. Okay, well, it's been, I don't know, 5, 6, maybe 8 minutes, about how long it takes you to clean up the kitchen after this. And now I'm going to transfer this into a Ziploc bag. Now you can take and put this into a nice, like a glass container, and cover it with saran wrap or plastic wrap, whatever you want to call it. And it looks a lot nicer, but I'm just going to put it into here because I hate dishes. Okay, so there we have it. Now I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. It's supposed to be 7 to 10 days. I'm probably going to go maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9 days on this, because this is a very thick piece, but it's just going to start sucking the juices out and curing it and getting it ready for us to smoke it. I wanted to show you guys this. This is after 7 days now of this pork belly sitting in the in that rub we put on there, and you can see, look at how much liquid has come out of that. Now this was a thicker piece, so if it would have been thinner, or you can actually let it sit 7 days if you want. But remember, I said I wanted to go longer with this. So I'm flipping it again here, letting that get all around it and stuff, and I'm actually going to leave this in 9 days. I'm going to let it go 2 more days, and then we're going to take this out, we're going to rinse it, and then we're going to throw it in the smoker. Well, here we are now. It's been 9 days. Well, actually like 8.5 days. Tonight would be 9. So I'm going to get this out of the bag. I'm going to get it rinsed off real good, and then we're going to go out and we're going to start the smoker. There we go. It's all rinsed off, and I patted it dry with paper towels. Into the smoking pan, I'm going to use mostly apple. And I'm going to mix a little bit of pecan in there also. There's my apple. These pecans are a little bit bigger chunks, so they'll smoke a little bit longer. Whenever I make my smoker pan, I make a hole in the middle, because with all the wood on top, it takes a long time for it to start to smoke. If you do this, in that center part, it'll start to smoke right away, and it'll just move itself out. I'll give that about 10 minutes to heat up, and we'll throw in the pork belly. Alright, so like I said in the beginning of this video, I've never made bacon before, but as far as smoking meat and that, I've done that for a little over 30 years now, so I know a lot about the smoker itself. With this, when I'm making bacon this time, I'm going to cold smoke it. I don't want to hot smoke it, so I put in my electronic thermometer up here so I can watch it at different levels. I'm going to run that pork belly in right about here. I want to keep it 80 degrees right around there. I don't want to go over 100. We're going to leave this in there for, I don't know, 4 hours, 6 hours, check the color of it and everything. And then, even though then it would be done, I'm still going to put it in the oven and get the internal temperature up to where there's no bacteria, just to make sure. So for right now though, it's starting to smoke, so we'll get that pork belly in there and at least start the 4 or 5 hour process. I think I'll put this about here. It's about 22 degrees outside in Minnesota, so I just have one burner going down there. If it was, you know, if it was a lot colder, I wanted it to be a lot hotter, I'd put a second plate in there, but we should be good here. I don't know what it's going to taste like, but it sure smells good. Well, I just took it out of the smoker. I actually left it in there for almost 7 hours. I just got a bunch of stuff going today, and I ran it through 2 pans of smoke, so it smells really good and smoky. It's got a nice dark hue to it. I'm going to let this sit here and rest for just a little bit, and then we're going to pop it in the oven. Now what I'm doing is I've got the oven at 200, and I take and put the pork belly on top of the rack, and I just put a pan underneath it to catch the juice. And we're just going to close this up, and I'll just test it, and as soon as the interior gets to 150 degrees, then it's done. Not yet, but it's getting there. We made it. Time to pull it out. Well, there it is, completely done. I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes, and I'm going to cut a couple of slices off because I want to give this a try. I wish I had one of those meat slicers, because looking at that, I don't think with my fillet knife I'm really going to be able to get an even cut. But at least we'll get a good idea of if this is a good recipe or not a good recipe. It's a little bit thick cut, but it sure smells good. I am not kidding. It smells delicious. Well, it definitely has lots of grease that cooked out like bacon. It smells like bacon in here now. It doesn't smell like just smoked meat. And it looks really good, but I mean, okay, so we know how to make bacon, but is this, the spices that we use, is this going to be good? I'll let this cool down a little bit and we'll find out. Okay, so now we're going to see if this recipe is any good. It does taste like bacon. I thought it would be sweeter with all the sugar. I don't taste any sugar. It's salty, like regular bacon, but not too salty. You know what? This is actual bacon. What I'm a little disappointed about is it's not different than any bacon that you would buy in the store. Well, I know how to make bacon. I think a little bit less salt, a little bit more sweet would be better. Amazing. It's really good, don't get me wrong, but... Alright, well, that's my first attempt at bacon. Stay tuned, we're going to be doing it again. Thanks a lot for watching.